This is the T-49, a Tier 8 American light tank, and I personally believe that this is the best light tank available at Tier 8 on the tech tree. Now, the FE301 will get you probably more consistent statistical averages. This tank has some armor, it has a really good gun on DPM values, penetration. Overall, it's a really solid tank. But I just don't like the playstyle of the FE301, and because of that, I personally am not going to put it as the best light. It's a really good tank, it can do a lot of things well, but the 49 can be a maker or a breaker. This tank, and you're gonna watch this battle, at the beginning showcases where it sucks. Its gun's gonna miss every shell, just like the 49 normally does, but then we're gonna get it into its element. Not only win this battle, but deal pretty darn close to 5,000 damage, which is quite a bit for a Tier 8 game. Now, the 49 carries two types of ammunition. It fires heat with 560 damage, and HE for 780. Now, the nice thing about this tank is that I carry half and half, 11 heat and 11 HE. Even if you don't pen the HE shells, a really nice thing though is that you can just deal damage in general. You can splash somebody for 280 to 300 damage quite easily with the HE shells and not really have to aim. And it's something that's very nice about the 49. Unfortunately, you do try to aim because this tank is not very accurate. It's got like 0.45 dispersion, one of the least accurate tanks in the entire game. So hitting a shell, as you can see, is quite luck-based. But right there, we got a little bit lucky and was able to get a 258 slap into the Indian Panzer's turret, which is 258 more damage than I would have had in most other Tier 8s. We got the T-92E1, and I can see this 92 running, so I'm ready. I'm prepared. I'm going to wait for him to get behind the hill so he won't spot me and snap me. And then I'm going to wait, aim, and fire. Oh, it goes like an inch behind him. That's really unfortunate. I'm not really sure if that was me not leading the shell enough or the shell went off to the side of the reticle a bit. Could have been a bit of both. I don't really know. But that's one of the things about the 49 is it's just really hard to judge the shell. Again, we're going to fire, and that one, I swear that was like an inch behind him. Both of those shells could have absolutely nuked the 92E1, bringing the player down to a single shot of health for us. But unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way. So now there's a lot of red on the enemy team. We are already down an IS-5, which is not good news, and I'm going to try and help out my team. The E-75 unfortunately hits me for 404 damage, and, well, my 704 is also being absolutely badonkered by the enemy team, so maybe I can help out my Object 704. Boom! There you go. Nice shell. Okay, that's good. We were able to clear one of the deadliest opponents on the enemy teams, one of the only vehicles that had enough mobility to keep up with me, but it's not looking too good for our team right now. Our 704 is a one-shot, and he just bounced a not a waffle, a Borsig, which is also pretty bad news. But what we're waiting for is this Borsig to poke. Come on, do it. Yes, there you go. 632 damage into the Borsig. That's pretty good. I mean, that's literally half of that vehicle's hit points, which means now, if we pen one more shell onto his tank, even though he is running Spall Liner, we should very easily be able to kill his tank. I mean, our HE with Spall does still quite a bit, so we're just going to go for it. The Borsig wasn't ready for us. We got the shell penetrated, and with that, we're over 2,000 damage. Not bad at all. Now we got to deal with this VK-168. Now, the VK is a choice. Shoot the 49, which he won't kill, or kill possibly the T-32. Looks like he makes, in my opinion, still the right choice to shoot at the 32, but he misses the shell. Not only that, but I light him on fire, so now we're up to 2,870 damage. And because the guy missed the shot on the T-32, our 32 actually out-reloads him and manages to pen the shell before being cleared by the enemy Object 252. Now, I was really hoping we could pen that guy's lower plate, but you can see just how little pen the heat does have on this vehicle. Thankfully, the E-75 makes a bit of an oopsie, doesn't actually penetrate us, hits our track wheel. And with that, now we get the opportunity to get towards the side of his tank and get away. Now, we're currently sitting at 3,031 damage, which is good, but we still need to deal a lot more if we want to have a chance of winning this battle, because obviously that E-75 is going to be a bit of a tricky opponent. We're going to bait a shell from him here. I do have to say, not necessarily the best player, but I mean, that is how Blitz do be working sometimes. So we're going to squeeze past him, get a nice heat shell to the side, just enough pen, and there you go, nice roll, 600. Now we're up to 3,600 damage dealt. Unfortunately, the 252 does finish off my teammate, and also our WZ-120 bounces that 252, but there's not much I can do about that. But I do know that the E-75 turned its turret for some reason off to the side, so because of that, that gives me just the advantage to get to his side again, and the E-75 for some reason shoots that shell, which means now we're able to push onto his side again, which is what we're going to do right here. And flank, flank, flank. Oh, baby, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be a nasty one. Boom! 600 damage again, and with that, we are up to 4,877 damage in our first battle for the T-49. That was a perfect example to showcase how this tank can be such an influential yet delicate vehicle. If any of those shells decided not to like me when I needed them to, we probably could have lost that game quite easily. You know, if I didn't pen that T-92E1, if that Borsig didn't die, or my shell hit the track wheel of the Borsig instead of his actual tank. There are so many situations where that game would have been a loss, but the 49 is literally just an RNG cannon. Thankfully, though, because it has mobility, like that E75, we were able to use our mobility on the enemy and actually come out with a victory. So this is a better matchup. We got tier 7s this time, and specifically that M41D. I am eyeing all up. That tank is making me quite hungry. We also got a T26E3 and an SU-152. The SU-152 is a tank that I don't mind fighting because I can HE pen it, but it probably doesn't mind fighting me either because it can also HE pen me. So that's one thing I got to keep in mind. The only other tank I'm a little cautious about is that Progetto. Would not be surprised if, yeah, the Progetto went towards mid, but there you go. That's a pretty good example. Unfortunately, looks like we, even though barely poked that hill, still got penned by the SU-152. I mean, we did absolutely nuke that M41D. It was worth it, but kind of unfortunate that we got punished for something that we actually did correctly, in my opinion. Oh well, let's see what else we can do here. I'm not going to poke mid because I feel like that's just a bad idea as of right now. Looks like most of the enemy team is actually going towards A side. And because we know where that SU-152 shot us from, I should be able to get behind his tank fairly quickly and maybe clear him. And if we are able to clear that SU, that would actually be great for us because, as I said, that's one of the only tanks that actually gives me a bit of a threat. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I could have shot a shell at that Super Pershing thing. It's not a Super Pershing, it's a Eagle 7, but I'm not actually going to do that because I just think that's a waste of a shot. I'm going to get detected probably shooting that. Again, I'm just going to keep on flanking, try and get behind this SU-152 because we know where he was. So let's try that. Let's start heading towards their spawn. Let's keep on going. Hello. Oh, there he is. And let's just speed this way. And there you go. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Let's go for an HE. That's 811 damage right there. And a perfect example of what the 49 is capable of doing. Now, it doesn't really matter because we only need 2 shells to finish off his tank as it is. And I mean, yeah, this is what happens. So, pretty good game overall so far. Let's get away from that 53 TP. I obviously don't want to be shot by his tank, so I'm just going to wait here for a little bit for my camo to reset. And there you go. Now we're all good. 53 TP can't see me anymore, and we are gone. Now, that was a really good situation there. We were not only able to clear the SU-152, but we took 0 damage in return, which is something that you really want to have happen when you clear an enemy tank. We have the Eagle 7 in mid, and we also have the Luva and the Progetto off to the side of my IS-3, which is not good for the IS-3, especially because he just bounced that shell. That's a bit worse in my opinion. Let's aim and fire. Oh, that sucks. The problem right now is that I think we just lose this. Our team is 2 of them camping in the back. Our IS-2 doesn't have a clue in the world what I think he's doing. Maybe I can just, you know, bait this Progetto over the hill just a little bit. Come on, bro. I'm just trying to bait you. Oh, okay, that works too. I mean, that definitely works too. That actually may have just saved a very tricky game. Now, our IS-2 is still in a really bad situation, but at least he's getting some bounces. We got the Chieftain off to the side, and, well, this Chieftain just fired, which means we can just HE him, finish him off, which is good news. So, we got the 53 TP off to the side, the M41D. We know that the M41D and the T23 Eagle are both one-shots, which is good news. But unfortunately, our Luva, or their Luva, just got a pretty nasty shell into our teammate, which is not good. Just trying to think of what we want to do here. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Again, another very lucky shell connecting into the enemy tank. And with that, we just cleared the M41D. Apparently, I'm tunneling him. I always love that one. But let's see. I want to get this Eagle 7 cleared. There's only 2 of us left, and this Eagle 7 needs to go. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Fire shell, perfect. Finishing off the enemy Eagle 7. And with that, we are actually doing not great. I mean, I'm very confident this Pantera is going to poke the Luva. Oh, he actually didn't die. Yes, he did. Never mind, I lied. That's really bad news. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to go for this 53 TP first. I know the 53 TP is a potential one-shot with an HE penetration. I know that the 53 TP is probably heading towards this way, so that's exactly what I'm going to do is I'm going to go this way. Come on, where is he? Where is he? Oh, there he is. Go, 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 go. And, oh, that's not good. Fire. Okay, we did pen the shell, but unfortunately, as you could see, we still got cleared. So, a pretty good example of where the 49 is a really good tank and a really bad tank. I mean, honestly, it didn't have any downsides there. We did the best we could have. We did 3,600 damage. We absolutely stomped on the enemy team. Just unfortunately, when you have your tier 8s and literally everybody on your team dealing like 800 damage, there's unfortunately not much to do about it. So that's just the unlucky part of the T49. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, let me know in the comments down below. I think that this is such a fun tank and definitely enjoy playing it. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.